Picture this. You're walking down the street just living your life when someone decides you're their target for the day. They throw a comment at you that cuts deep. Maybe they mock how you look. Maybe they question your worth. Maybe they take a shot at your work, your dreams, your entire life. What do most people do? They explode. They snap back. They defend themselves like their life is on trial. Their face changes. Their voice rises. Their heart starts racing. And in that exact moment, without realizing it, they hand over all of their power. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He knew the person who can be moved by insults is already defeated. Because the second someone can trigger you, they don't just hurt your feelings, they control you. They decide what you feel, when you react, how you look to everyone watching. The moment you let someone drag you into an emotional reaction, you're not in charge anymore. They are. But what if you didn't play that game at all? What if there was a version of you that almost nothing could touch? Where insults hit you and go nowhere, where people try to provoke you and it's like punching stone, where your calmness starts to scare people more than other people's anger. That's what this transformation is about. Not being chill, not being passive, not being a pushover. I'm talking about Machiavellian-level mental detachment, the kind that makes you unbothered, unreadable, and unbreakable. By the end of this journey, you're going to know exactly how to become the person who never gets dragged into pointless drama, never gives anyone the satisfaction of seeing them break, and never lets another human being hold their emotional state on a string. Before we dive in, type this in the comments and stamp it into your mind. I am untouchable. Because that's the identity you're building, the Machiavellian principle of detachment. Here's the core truth you have to swallow. People can only bother you with what you give them access to. Their words, just sound, air leaving their mouth. The insult itself has zero power. The power appears when you decide, this matters. I need to react. I need to defend myself. That's when you bleed. You've been trained to believe that being unbothered means being weak. That means you don't care. That means you're scared to speak up. That means you're letting them win. No. Indifference, when it's conscious and controlled, is not weakness. It's dominance. It's you saying, you don't get that kind of access to me. You're not important enough to move my center. Power begins where reactions end. When you stop reacting to every provocation, you do three things at once. You rob them of the reward they were looking for. You stay in control of yourself instead of defending yourself. You become dangerous because they can't read or manipulate you anymore. Dangerous in the best way. Dangerous because you're calm. Dangerous because you're unpredictable. Dangerous because your emotions are yours, not theirs. And that's what these 10 laws are going to build in you. A mind that doesn't flinch. A face that doesn't crack, and a presence that tells people, try me if you want, but you will not move me. Law 1. Expect disrespect before it arrives. Most people walk through life with a childlike assumption. People should be fair. People should be kind. People should play by the rules. So when someone betrays them, mocks them, or disrespects them, they're shocked. They feel blindsided. They crumble. Machiavelli would call that delusion. Disrespect isn't random. It's not an oops. It's often a test. People poke at you to see, can they get under your skin? Are you easy to rattle? Are you safe to disrespect again? If you live expecting fairness, every act of disrespect feels like an earthquake. If you live expecting human nature jealousy, insecurity, envy, pettiness, nothing surprises you. Think of life like walking through a dangerous neighborhood at night. You're not shocked if you see trouble. You're alert. You're prepared. You're ready. That's how you need to treat the world. Not paranoid, not bitter, just realistic. From today on, assume. Some people will envy you. Some people will test you. Some people will try to tear you down just to feel taller. When you expect that, their behavior stops being personal. It becomes predictable. And what's predictable can't control you. The fool gets blindsided every time and spirals. The wise man sees it coming and stays calm. When you expect disrespect, you stop asking, "Why are they like this?" and start thinking, "Of course, and here's how I'm going to respond," or not respond at all. That alone already makes you less reactive and more powerful. Law 2. Master the art of silence. Now we get to one of the most Machiavellian tools you will ever use: silence. Most people think power is in the comeback, the perfect clapback, the sharp one-liner, the speech that puts them in their place. No. Your silence, when it's intentional, is far more terrifying. When someone insults you, mocks you, or tries to drag you into an argument, they want one thing: your reaction. Your anger feeds them. Your defensiveness validates them. Your emotional explosion crowns them the winner. Your reaction is their victory. Your silence is yours. Think about the last time someone tried to get a rise out of you and you gave them nothing. No laugh, no explanation, no long paragraph defending yourself. Just stillness. They probably got uncomfortable. They probably pushed harder. They probably started second-guessing themselves. That's the power of silence. It forces them to sit with their own behavior. Silence creates mystery. Mystery creates fear. Fear, over time, turns into respect. But here's the key. Your silence cannot be the silence of someone who's hurt and doesn't know what to say. It has to be the silence of someone who could say everything and chooses not to. One screams weakness, the other whispers power. You build this like a muscle. Next time someone tries to provoke you, count to 10 before you say anything, then push it to 20. Then practice saying nothing at all, just eye contact, calm breathing, neutral face. Watch how quickly their confidence starts to crack. Because nothing crushes a fragile ego like throwing a punch and realizing it didn't land. Stamp this one in the comments. Silence is strength. Law 3. Never let your emotions betray you. Oh. Here's a truth most people will never master. You don't have to eliminate emotions. You have to dominate them. Rage, tears, panic, over-explaining. These are signals. Signals that tell the world exactly where to hit you next. When someone provokes you, your emotions fire up instantly. Your chest tightens, your face heats up, your pulse spikes, your thoughts race. All of that is normal. All of that is human. But here's where the gap forms between the weak and the powerful. Weak people let those internal sensations spill out onto their face, their voice, and their behavior. Strong people feel the same sensations and choose their response deliberately. The master feels everything but shows nothing. The amateur shows everything and controls nothing. Machiavelli understood one thing very clearly. You only get manipulated through the emotions you display. If people can read your anger, they can trigger it. If they can read your insecurity, they can weaponize it. If they can read your fear, they can use it against you. So your job is not to numb your emotions. It's to make them private. Inside, you might be burning. Outside, your face stays unreadable. This is real dominance. This is real control. And the fastest way to build emotional control is through distance. When someone triggers you, imagine you're watching the situation from outside your own body, like you're watching a movie of someone else being provoked. What advice would you give that person? How would you want them to handle it? Would you want them to explode or stay composed? That mental distance gives you room. Room to think, room to choose, room to stay untouchable. Emotions are information, not orders. They tell you what's happening, but you decide what happens next. Lock this into your mindset. I control myself. Law 4. Control the frame. Never defend. This is one of the most important Machiavellian principles you will ever learn. When you defend yourself too much, you admit weakness. Think about the moments where people insult you, question you, or doubt your abilities. The natural reaction? Defend, justify, explain. But here's what Machiavelli understood. The moment you start justifying yourself, you're accepting their version of reality, their frame. You're saying, your opinion matters so much that I need to convince you I'm worthy. That's how you lose power before the conversation even begins. Strong people don't explain themselves endlessly. Strong people don't chase approval. Strong people don't try to persuade every skeptic. They control the frame of the interaction, and you do that by refusing to play their game. For example, someone says, "You're not qualified for that job." Most people panic and list every achievement they've ever had. The Machiavellian response? Interesting opinion. And then you change the subject, or even simpler, a small laugh, and silence. You're not reacting, you're not defending, you're not explaining, you're dismissing the entire attempt to pull you into their insecurity. Machiavelli wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. What you appear to be is shaped entirely by how you respond under pressure. If you defend yourself constantly, you appear insecure. If you hold your ground and refuse to over-explain, you appear powerful. This doesn't mean you never stand up for yourself. It means you respond strategically, not emotionally. Remember, I control frames. Law 5. Detach from opinions, good or bad. This law will free you more than anything else in this video. You must detach from both praise and criticism. Most people only focus on one side. They want to stop caring about criticism. But if you still crave praise, you're just as fragile. If you need others to lift you up, you'll collapse the moment they tear you down. Praise and criticism are two sides of the same chain. Praise makes you dependent. Criticism makes you insecure. Both make your sense of self something other people get to control. The truly powerful person stands firmly on their own foundation, their values, their discipline, their goals, their self-understanding. This doesn't mean you ignore feedback. It means you evaluate feedback based on its usefulness, not its emotional impact. If criticism helps you grow, accept it. If praise is accurate, appreciate it. But neither should shake your core. Machiavelli famously said, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him." In your life, the only opinions that matter are the people who know you deeply, the people who want the best for you, the people who have earned the right to be taken seriously. Everyone else, their opinions are noise. To train this mindset, spend 1 week avoiding all validation seeking. Don't ask if people liked your work. Don't fish for compliments. Don't obsess over likes, views, or comments. Don't ask for approval before making a decision. Watch how this changes your behavior. Watch how much calmer and more confident you become. Validation is a drug. Detachment is freedom. Type this to lock it in. I validate myself. Law 6. Reward control. Punish reaction. If you want to become unbothered automatically, not just by force, not just on your good days, but by default, then you have to train your mind the same way an athlete trains their body. Most people try to build self-control with willpower alone, but willpower gets tired. Willpower is inconsistent. Willpower collapses the moment emotions get too strong. Machiavelli would never rely on something that fragile. He understood this truth. Your mind follows whatever you consistently reward. So here's how you apply that to emotional control. Every time you remain calm when someone tries to provoke you, reward yourself. It doesn't have to be big. Maybe you treat yourself to something small. Maybe you give yourself extra rest. Maybe you let yourself watch a favorite show, enjoy a snack, or take a relaxing moment. You're signaling to your brain, this behavior is good. Do more of this. On the flip side, every time you react emotionally when you could have stayed calm, you punish yourself not harshly, but intentionally. Take a cold shower, do an extra workout, remove entertainment for the evening, do something that requires discipline. Why? Because the goal is to create an association. Calm equals reward. Reaction equals discomfort. Your brain starts to choose calmness on autopilot. It becomes easier, more natural, more instinctive. This is how real self-control is built not through force, but through systems. Machiavelli said, "Men are so simple and so subject to present necessities that he who deceives will always find those who will allow themselves to be deceived." Don't deceive yourself into thinking you can just be strong without training your mind. Strength comes from structure, from consistency, from habits. The goal is to become the kind of person who doesn't even feel the urge to react. The kind of person whose calmness is automatic. Someone tries to provoke you, and your brain instantly goes, "Nope. Calm is what we do here." That is true mental power. Lock this into your identity. I train myself. Law 7. Use indifference as a weapon. Most people fight back when someone attacks them. They argue, they defend. They try to prove the other person wrong, but a master understands something far more powerful. The more you don't care, the more they care. Indifference destroys manipulators faster than anger ever could. When you get angry, you're still giving the other person emotional energy. You're still letting them influence you. But when you respond with genuine indifference, not cold hostility, but real lack of concern, you send the clearest message possible. You have no power over me. Nothing infuriates insecure people more than a target who won't react. It drives them crazy. It makes them desperate. It exposes their weakness. Think about the people you've met who truly don't care what others think. People either deeply respect them, or they obsessively try to get a reaction out of them. Why? Because indifference is intimidating. It signals strength, self-sufficiency, and emotional independence. But here's the key. It has to be real indifference, not fake. Fake indifference looks like exaggerated shrugging, forced sarcasm, pretending not to care but obviously caring, rehearsed lines meant to look cool. People can smell fake indifference a mile away. Real indifference is quiet, calm, and effortless. How do you develop it? You focus deeply on what actually matters to you. Your goals, your growth, your purpose, your relationships, your discipline. When your mind is deeply occupied with things that matter, you naturally stop caring about people who don't. Their words slide off you because you're too busy becoming a stronger version of yourself. Machiavelli wrote, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves." Indifference makes you the fox, impossible to trap with emotional bait. Your calm presence makes you the lion, frightening to those who expect weakness. Use indifference as your shield. Use indifference as your weapon. Law 8. Redirect energy into power. When someone tries to provoke you, insult you, or tear you down, they're giving you energy. Not good energy or bad energy, just energy. Most people use that energy to get angry, argue, spiral, worry, complain, replay the insult in their head over and over. This is how small people stay small. But powerful people do something completely different. They take that same energy and channel it into building their empire. Someone says you're not smart enough, study harder. Someone mocks your appearance, improve your fitness or style. Someone says you'll never make it, use that fuel to push further. Someone doubts your abilities, sharpen your skills until you're undeniable. Every insult becomes fuel, if you choose to use it that way. Because here's the truth. Attacks reveal more about the attacker than about you. They expose their insecurities, their fears, their assumptions about your weaknesses. That's data. That's information. That's insight. If someone thinks your weakness is your appearance, use that. If someone thinks your weakness is your confidence, fix that. If someone thinks your weakness is your skills, level up faster than they expected. Machiavelli said, "I am not interested in preserving the status quo. I want to overthrow it." Overthrow their expectations. Overthrow their assumptions. Overthrow the version of you they think they can break. Victims let insults weaken them. Victors let insults sharpen them. When someone tries to tear you down, your response should be one simple question. How do I turn this into power? Turn every critic into an accidental coach. Turn every attack into information. Turn every insult into a challenge. That's how you rise. Law 9. Let go with cold calculation. Most people believe they only have two options when someone wrongs them. 1. Forgive and forget. Or 2. Seek revenge. But Machiavelli understood something deeper, something most people never consider. Revenge is a tool, not a duty. You don't owe anyone a reaction. You don't have to strike back just because you were attacked. You don't have to prove a point every time someone crosses you. A strong person doesn't react based on emotion. A strong person responds only if it benefits them. That's what cold calculation is. It's not about kindness. It's not about cruelty. It's about strategy. Ask yourself, will responding to this bring me any real benefit? Will this protect my reputation or teach others not to disrespect me? Will this move me closer to my goals? Will this save me time, money, energy, or future problems? If the answer is yes, you don't react now. You respond later when it's advantageous. Cold, slow, strategic. Not from emotion, from intention. But if the answer is no, then you let it go completely. Not out of weakness, not out of fear, but because it's not worth your energy. Revenge can be expensive. It can drain your time. It can drain your mental space. It can drain your focus from things that actually matter. Sometimes the strongest move you can make is to simply not care. Imagine someone insults you, betrays you, or tries to sabotage you. Your pride wants to fight. Your ego wants to prove something, but your intelligence asks, is this battle worth my time? Most battles aren't. Most people aren't. Machiavelli said, never was anything great achieved without danger. But he also understood, not every danger is worth facing. The master picks their battles carefully. The emotional person fights everything and loses peace. The strategic person fights almost nothing and gains power. Letting go is not weakness. It's choosing where your strength is actually needed. Lock this in. I choose wisely. Law 10. Become untouchable through detachment. This is the final, ultimate law. The one that transforms everything. People can only bother you when they find a way in. If they know you're desperate for validation, they criticize you. If they know you're afraid of being alone, they threaten to leave. If they know you care deeply about your reputation, they gossip. Every attack someone launches at you requires a point of emotional entry. Detachment seals every entry point. But detachment doesn't mean numbness. It doesn't mean apathy. It doesn't mean you stop caring about everything. Real detachment means you care, but nothing controls you. You can love someone without letting threats manipulate you. You can be proud of your work without letting criticism destroy you. You can want success without letting failure paralyze you. Detachment turns wants into preferences, not dependencies. You want things, but you don't need them to feel stable, confident, or whole. This is the state where nothing outside of you has the power to shake your peace. And when no one can shake your peace, no one can control you. This is what makes you untouchable. People might not always like you, but they will respect you. They will realize you're not someone who can be pulled, manipulated, or emotionally blackmailed. Machiavelli wrote, "He who is highly esteemed is not easily conspired against." When you're grounded in yourself, when your identity doesn't depend on approval, when your peace doesn't depend on external outcomes, people stop attempting to bother you. Why? Because they know it won't work. To build this detachment, practice holding things lightly. Enjoy success fully, but don't cling to it. Learn from failure, but don't be defined by it. Value relationships, but never attach your entire identity to them. Pursue goals, but don't let obstacles shatter you. You're fully engaged with life, but not enslaved by it. You move through the world with confidence, not desperation. And that calm confidence is what makes you unbreakable. Becoming the person no one can shake. If you followed this far, you now understand something rare: the mechanics of emotional sovereignty. These 10 laws aren't theories. They're weapons. You can use them starting right now. Indifference is not weakness. Detachment is not coldness. Silence is not passivity. They are forms of sovereignty. They are the crown only the strong can wear. Tomorrow, when someone insults you, you'll remember Law 2 and stay silent. Next week, when someone criticizes you, you'll remember Law 5 and stay detached. Next month, when someone tries to drag you into drama, you'll remember Law 10 and stay untouchable. But none of this works without action. Choose one law today. Practice it until it becomes natural. Then add another and another. Before long, you'll be the person who stands firm while everyone else falls apart. The person with unshakable calm, unshakable presence, unshakable power. The person who is simply untouchable. You've reached the end of this transformation. And if you've made it this far, you're already different from most people. Most people hear ideas like these and think, "That's interesting," or "I should try that someday." Then they go right back to letting random people control their emotions, their reactions, and their peace. But not you. You've walked through every one of Machiavelli's dark laws of emotional sovereignty. You've seen how each one strips power away from others and returns it to you. You've learned not just what to do, but why it works, and how human nature responds when someone refuses to be moved. Now, the real question is, what are you going to do with this? Because knowledge is nothing without execution. Wisdom means nothing if it doesn't become habit. And power means nothing unless it becomes your default state. Let's bring this all together. The full transformation you're stepping into from today forward. You now understand the first truth of being unbothered. People can only touch the parts of you they can access. If someone can trigger you, it's because you left a door open. If someone can shake you, it's because you handed them leverage. If someone can bother you, it's because you allowed them to matter more than they should. But once you reclaim that access, once you shut every door that leads to your emotional core, they can't touch you anymore. Not with insults, not with disrespect, not with manipulation, not with judgment, not with betrayal. People only have as much power as you give them, and you're done giving. The world feels chaotic only to those who are easily moved. When you react automatically, the world feels unstable. Someone says something, you react. Someone judges you, you panic. Someone gossips, you defend. Someone mocks you, you spiral. That's how most people live, emotionally blown around like leaves in the wind. But with these laws, you become the stone in the storm. Everything blows around you, but nothing moves you. Imagine the advantage you gain when someone tries to insult you and you stay silent. Someone tries to provoke you and you stay unshaken. Someone tries to embarrass you and you stay composed. Someone tries to drag you into drama and you stay detached. Someone tries to manipulate you and you stay unreadable. Most people crumble under pressure, but you're becoming the person who stands tall while everyone else collapses. Your calmness will become more fearsome than anger. Anger is easy to read. Insecurity is easy to exploit. Defensiveness is easy to manipulate. But calmness? True, unwavering calmness. That terrifies people. Because calmness means you're not afraid. You're not threatened. You're not impressed by their attempts. You're not emotionally exposed. You're operating from strength, not reaction. Calmness forces others to question themselves. It flips the power dynamic instantly. Your silence becomes more powerful than their shouting. Your stillness becomes more intimidating than their aggression. Your neutrality becomes the thing they can't understand. And what people don't understand, they fear. Becoming untouchable is not about being cold. It's about being free. You're not becoming unbothered to impress others. You're doing it to reclaim your life. Because the moment someone else can control how you feel, they control your entire reality. And that ends now. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop depending. You can love people deeply without letting them manipulate you. You can pursue big goals without letting setbacks define you. You can face conflict without letting your emotions hijack you. You become the master of your inner world. And once you master the inner world, the outer world loses its grip on you completely. Here's your final challenge. For the next 24 hours, practice just one of the laws from this series, not all 10. Not a full transformation, just one. Maybe it's silence, maybe it's detachment, maybe it's indifference, maybe it's redirecting energy, maybe it's refusing to defend yourself, maybe it's expecting disrespect before it arrives. Pick the one that resonated most with you and apply it with intention. You will be shocked, absolutely shocked, by how quickly people change their behavior when they realize they can no longer move you, when they see their insults bounce off, when they see their manipulation fail, when they see their attempts to provoke you go nowhere. People stop trying to control you when they realize it doesn't work, and that's when you become truly untouchable. You've learned the laws, you've understood the strategy, you've seen the path, and now you'll walk it. Type this final affirmation and let it anchor the identity you're stepping into. I am cold, calm, untouchable. Because the weak react, the strong respond. But the master doesn't do either. The master simply is steady, centered, and unshakable. And that is who you are becoming. Here's the truth you need to carry with you as you walk away from this video. Your power was never in the hands of other people. It was never in their words, their opinions, or their judgments. It has always been inside you, buried under layers of reaction, fear, and conditioning. These laws didn't give you strength. They simply revealed the strength you already had. From today forward, every moment is a chance to choose mastery over impulse, intention over emotion, purpose over chaos. You don't have to win every battle. You just have to remain unmoved, because the person who cannot be shaken cannot be controlled. So step into the world with that calm fire inside you. Be the one who stands firm while others collapse. Be the one who owns their mind. Be the one who is truly, undeniably, untouchable.